Right now, headlines are exploding with one question. Is the United States preparing to attack Iran? Social media talks about a massive US armada, warships moving toward the Middle East, and threats of war that could shake the entire planet. But what is actually happening? What is real? What is exaggerated? And what would happen to the Middle East and the world if war breaks out? Let's separate facts from fear. The United States has deployed a large naval force to the Middle East, including an aircraft carrier strike group, one of the most powerful military formations on Earth. US officials describe this as a deterrent move, a warning, not an invasion order. But the language used by American leaders has raised alarms. The word armada was publicly used, a term designed to signal overwhelming force. Iran, in response, has placed its military on high alert and warned of swift and severe retaliation if attacked. Important fact: there is no confirmed US order to start a war right now. What we are seeing is military pressure combined with political messaging. This is brinkmanship. There are three main reasons behind this escalation. First, Iran's nuclear program. The US and its allies fear Iran is approaching nuclear weapon capability. Iran insists its program is defensive. Second, regional power. Iran supports armed groups across the Middle East, in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, challenging US influence and allies. Third, deterrence. The US wants to show that any attack on its forces, allies, or shipping lanes would trigger a devastating response. This is not just about Iran. It's about control, credibility, and influence in the Middle East. So, what are the real chances of war? Experts see three scenarios. Most likely, no full-scale war, but ongoing tension, threats, and military posturing. Dangerous scenario: a limited strike on nuclear sites, military bases, or proxy forces that could spiral out of control. Worst case, a regional war involving multiple countries. The greatest danger isn't intention, it's miscalculation. One missile, one drone strike, one naval incident, and escalation becomes very hard to stop. If war begins, the consequences would be global. Oil prices would explode. Iran sits next to the Strait of Hormuz, where about 20% of the world's oil passes. Any disruption here would raise fuel prices worldwide, from Asia to Europe to Africa. The Middle East could ignite. Iran's allies could attack US bases and partners across the region: Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, and beyond. Global trade would suffer. Shipping routes would be disrupted, insurance costs would surge, markets would panic, civilian suffering would be massive. Even limited war means displacement, casualties, and humanitarian crises, especially inside Iran. This would not stay local. This would hit everyone. Major global powers, including Russia, China, and the EU, are pushing for diplomacy. Why? Because a US-Iran war would destabilize the entire global order. Even countries that disagree with Iran don't want a regional explosion they cannot control. So here is the truth. The US is not currently attacking Iran. Military escalation is real. Diplomacy is still possible. A full war would be catastrophic for the world. This moment is a reminder of how fragile global peace really is. Sometimes the most dangerous wars are the ones no one officially declares. If this situation escalates, the consequences will reach far beyond the Middle East. And if diplomacy fails, the world will feel it. Subscribe for fact-based global stories, because understanding history as it unfolds matters.